What are you chewing on there, Mohammed?
I'm done.
What was it? I'm genuinely curious.
There's nothing.
Pita.
Pita made by finest Bosnian woman. Are you done with whatever container that food comes in? Because I can hear it scratching around.
I'm 100% done
Jesus
right now.
Christ.
This was my first meal of the day, and I ate it since I started talking to you properly until right now.
What was it? I'm genuinely curious.
Shake Shack.
Nice.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's for fucking peasants.
Let me just take a look and see if I have Dave Says too.
Fuck that guy, dude.
I wish we were recording.
We are.
Oh, nice. Make sure that goes in there.
I
Just for
do.
Dave.
I do have a Dave Says. So what we'll do first? We'll do Dave Says first.
Then Chelsea
Then
United.
the drama.
Arsenal.
We should start an ongoing battle between me and Dave.
Yeah, because Dave knows I have a secret love affair for him.
Well, it's not secret if he knows.
Okay, I have a public love affair with him.
There you go.
Well, it's legal. Same-sex marriage is legal in England, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been legal since before it was in America, I think.
That's impossible. America does everything first.
We are number one.
It's like when you talk to people that are like really close-minded, like, well, America has freedom. I'm like, so does 250 other fucking countries.
Ryan, I saw you get into you said something to some guy on Facebook the other day, and I think he was from England, but his response sounded very American to me.
What was his response?
What
It was something about him
Big
calling. He called.
trucks.
No, he called Ryan a snowflake.
Oh,
he called
yeah.
him an uneducated snowflake, and I was like, this guy sounds American.
Yeah, I
Is
think
the Confederate flag his background?
No, the England
it was
flag
actually
though.
the English flag, which is the cry of the British racist is
Wait,
some
It's not-
kind of
it's not
variation.
It's just like the St. George Cross.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, St. George's Cross, but some kind of variation on the St. George's Cross as the profile picture. You can guarantee that person hates black people. Hello, and welcome to the Studs Up podcast.
where we hate racists.
We do. I'd like to think that we are the first ever soccer podcast that also stands up against racism of all forms.
We're the first ever podcast in general that stands up to racism.
Well, I don't know about that, but sure. Let's just say
Name
we
two
are.
right now, Ryan. Go ahead, name two.
Well, I mean, you suppose you got a point there. That's very
Garrett?
true.
Garrett?
What?
Can you
I
name
can't
two?
even read, so I don't know.
Exactly. Off of those statistics.
I just saw a meme that says Lukaku is Danny Welbeck with a gym membership.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was pissed off that he joined United.
Why? Because you
Well,
wanted him?
He probably would have been performing great under Sarri.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, anyone would.
Welcome to the Studs Up podcast, episode number 12. My name is Ryan Oldham.
Garrett Love here as usual,
Hey, Mohammed Hadzik is still here.
somehow.
Muhammad at Hodzik is that what you said?
Yeah, Mohammed Hadzik. It's
That's
my
your
new Twitter name.
Your new email address.
I'm going to buy a domain without .com, without anything. You say Hadzik. That's it.
Perfect. It sounds great to me. On this episode, we're going to be doing a Dave Says. It's the special return of Dave Says after a few weeks off. We're going to be talking about Manchester United and Chelsea's brawl at the end of the 2-2 game. Arsenal going 10 games unbeaten. And also we'll be recapping our fantasy draft after a shift in the league there. But first...
Saucy!
But first, how's your week going so far, boys?
For me, it's good. But, no, I moved into a new place last weekend, so we're still getting used to the new place. I love it so far. But, yeah, so I'm sitting in my new office talking to you guys. It's good.
You did
good,
send
good.
on your Snapchat when you
Yeah.
said this
Yeah.
is my closet because Christy has too much shit.
Is it just a drawer?
I think every man in the world that lives in an apartment or a townhome at one point can completely sympathize with you in that regard.
Yeah. And I actually prefer
I have
it
my
this
own
way.
closet. I have my own closet.
I prefer it this way.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's nice getting you. Sometimes it's nice to have.
And
your
when
own
I wake
space
up in
to
the
get
morning,
ready.
I just have my own room to get ready in.
I kicked up a fuss about it for the first 2 weeks because.
I mean, it's Ryan. What else are you gonna do?
Oh yeah, because it's me, and I don't think I've gone one podcast in 12 episodes without complaining about something. But it always seemed like Kelly got the nice thing, and I got the
She is your
guest
wife.
thing.
She's supposed to have all the nice things. You're supposed to have nothing.
I suppose. Well, then, I mean, there's my argument completely shot. But like, we moved into this house now, and we have a walk-in closet in our bedroom, and one side is probably about 6 feet long, and you can hang clothes all along that. My side, underneath the floor is where the stairs come up. So there's probably 3 or 4 foot you can't hang any clothes because it's like the stairs come up through the floor.
Right.
And as soon as we moved into the house, she's like, this is my side, 6 feet. So I can barely hang any clothes as it is now in this house where we have a walk-in closet.
Yeah. That's how it
So
goes.
I'm not bitter about it.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah. No, I really like having my own closet, actually. It's nice. So she's got a way bigger closet, but mine's big enough for all my stuff, so I can't complain.
Right.
That's all that matters.
And then when she kicks you out of the room, you have a nice place to sleep in your
Yeah,
closet.
in my office chair.
In your office chair in the closet.
Yeah. Never come out, though. I'm too scared.
Mohammed, Oldham Athletic. Talk to me about Oldham Athletic.
Man, it's probably the highlight of my life, to be honest. This past week, I messed up my knee and my ankle. My knee is like, I guess I have some kind of weird bone growth.
Is that what the doctor said?
Yeah, and I got to take some crazy pills for it and stuff. So that's going to be a fun time.
Okay.
Besides that, Oldham Athletic, I want to tell you guys one thing. I don't know if I revealed this to you right on our group chat, but 2020 to 2021 Europa League champions.
That's right. We got the soundboard back as well.
Boys, we have won we are European champions, and we're playing in the championship right now.
That's huge.
Nice.
That is massive.
And not only were we the top goal scorers in the competition.
Did you change the difficulty to semi-pro for the final?
Amateur.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No, I just made 8-minute halves. Just because they obliterated me.
Yeah.
99% of the game. And I got lucky in a 93rd with a header. And that's it. That was my only shot on target. It was like, remember Barcelona versus Celtic a few years ago, where it was 99% possession of Barcelona, 25 shots on target, 25 attempts, all that shit, and they had one shot, one on target, and one goal, and they won.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
It was the exact same situation. I did not cross into their own. I did not get into their half until probably the 90th minute, and that's where I just fucking rocketed it from half. It went onto the goalkeeper. He saved it. I got a corner. I kicked it, scored a header. That's the only thing I did the whole game.
Nice.
But we didn't get promoted to the Premiership. I lost in the playoffs, so that was
Premier
a bummer.
League. Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League. I say Premiership. What did I say?
Premiership.
Same shit, different word.
I think it used to be the Premiership, but it's Premier League. Premier League.
Oh yeah, that's how old of a fan I am, Garrett. But we're going to be playing into it next year. Europe won't be our main target. Getting into the Premier League will be. Our captain, Florian Vogue, who is a 20-year-old
male model
youth.
Florian Vogue.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
That's a hell of a name. He's a 6'2" blonde dude that has like 98 pace. He's incredible, and he's a youth player that I picked up that I just sent the scout out to England, and he's an 85 overall, and I've gotten transfer offers from Barcelona, Real Madrid, all the teams for like 50, 60 million.
Wow. Oh, if this is your first time listening, by the way, this is FIFA 19. This isn't real. Mohammed doesn't own Oldham Athletic, so. And you don't live in the Twilight.
I don't think anyone would have missed.
You don't live in the Twilight Zone where Oldham Athletic just won the Europa League in October.
Yeah, if you said that, and in 2021, they won it in the future.
Do you still? How does it work on FIFA? Can you expand the stadium and stuff like that, or not really?
No, you can't do anything. FIFA is a corrupt game. For EA Sports is the dumbest thing ever created. They only care about the people that we already had this conversation. They only give a two shits about the people that are flushing their parents' visas and buy packs on Ultimate Team. They don't care about offline play.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, so first off, we're going to make the long-awaited return of Dave Says. I actually had an idea for Dave Says. Okay, I'm going to run this by you. It's not going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to be my money anyway. So, have you seen those YouTube videos where the famous YouTubers will pay, and it's generally like an Indian person, they'll pay them to just do absolutely anything?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to pay Dave to take all his clothes. No, I'm just kidding.
No, keep going.
So that app, or there's several of them, but one of the most famous ones is called Fiverr, where you can pay people to.
One of the most famous ones is Ask an Indian.
So Fiverr is probably one of the most famous ones. It's just like freelance audio technicians, or like they'll promote your podcast for you in various illegal or unethical ways. That's not what we're gonna do. I think I'm going to pay somebody to write and record a jingle
for Dave
Says. And
Amazing.
Regardless of how good it is...
I got this.
Mute yourself, man.
This is a shit show.
I couldn't help myself. I really tried.
Everybody tune out now. It's not worth it.
Jesus. And regardless of how good it is, we're going to use it because one, there's two things that could happen. One, it's really good and it becomes a great jingle. Two, it's so bad that it's so fucking hilarious to use on the show. So there's no downside to me doing this. So probably tomorrow I'm gonna
do it. I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll just send one out to the most Indian looking person I can find, and we'll go from there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll let you know how it goes.
I can't wait to hear it.
But anyway, going into Dave Says, let's read his email out. He says, "Here's my review of the week's games. I'm going to skip the first paragraph because it goes into what we're going to talk about later, so I will reread that in a sec." But he goes, "What a huge win that was for Cardiff, not just for the fact that it was their first win of the season, but against a potential relegation rival as well. If you're going to survive in the Premier League, you have to beat the teams around you, and that's exactly what they did." I watched the end of that game, and the passion in those fans and the management and that team was like wild. I don't know if it's going to translate to the rest of the season, but if they can play that way with that amount of like drive for the rest of the season, I don't think they'll go down. I still think they'll go down.
Yeah,
I'm not changing my mind on that. I think they're a bad team, but
yeah, they're not quality enough to turn it around. I don't think they don't have the players to do it, and they play like, I don't know. They never have the ball when they play. I can't believe they scored 4 goals. Regardless of who it is, I can't believe they scored 4 goals. So it was a good game for them.
And then he moves on to talk about Arsenal, who we will talk about in a little bit as well. But he says they're starting to creep up on everyone. 7 wins on the bounce. So that answers our question before of whether it was 7 or 10. So it's 10 unbeaten.
Well, no, that's 10 in all competitions.
Yeah, 10 and 7 wins in the Premier League on the bounce. They've put themselves very much in the title race. I still think they will drop too many points over the course of the season to sustain a proper challenge, but they are starting to look like a very decent team under Emery. So let's touch on that then. I don't agree with Dave saying that he thinks they're going to drop too many points. I think they are more than capable of winning the league this year, especially after seeing Manchester City aren't as strong. Obviously, they won 5-0 this weekend. I can't say that they're not strong. They're not as strong as they were last year. Liverpool aren't as strong as they were last year, at least at this stage. Salah just isn't scoring. Tottenham, exactly the same. Harry Kane isn't doing it. Chelsea and Manchester City are look like the two best teams, and Chelsea didn't look that great this weekend. Obviously, it was against Manchester United, so... No.
Yeah, there's no way for anyone to put up against Manchester United.
unless you're Newcastle or West Ham or anybody else.
Countless teams.
But I know I disagree with Dave by saying that I really think they're going to be, if they continue this form, top 3, and I think they will continue the form, especially with Mesut Ozil proved what I said last week, that in his prime and when he's playing his best, he is a better player than Luka Modric, and he proved that this weekend.
I think that on their day, they're very good, but I don't think that Arsenal... I mean, sorry for getting away from your Ozil thing.
No, it's fine. This is a free-flowing podcast.
I think that I don't think they're as good as City, Liverpool, or Chelsea, and they might I think they're going to Spurs it up this season. They're going to put pressure on the top, but they're not actually going to make a move for anything higher than where they are right now, because I think the 3 teams that are above them are better than them. And I think we talked about it last time, was that the next Big 6 game that Arsenal has is going to be huge for them, because we haven't seen them play a good team, I don't think, a top 6 team since they played Chelsea the second week of the season and they lost.
Sure.
And they've gotten a lot better since then, but they've been playing Leicester, Fulham, Watford, Everton. I mean, Everton and Watford are pretty decent teams, and Leicester even's all right, but I don't want to buy into it until they actually beat someone who's super notable. Ozil played a good game. Aubameyang's pretty hot right now, scoring goals. Thank God he's on my fantasy team. But yeah, I'm not going to hop on the bandwagon of them making a push for the title until they beat someone in the top 6.
Yeah. And they do have Liverpool.
I'm not even going to throw an opinion on them. Besides, good job on their plays for the last 10 games. But until they come to City, and until they come to Stamford Bridge, and not only win, but show that they are obviously the better squad, then I'm not going to be able to say, hey, these guys are title contenders. I don't think they are.
Right.
I think the only true title contenders in the Premier League are City and Chelsea.
Even with Liverpool still up there, you believe that?
No, I don't think. I do not think Liverpool is going to be a title contender this year. I think it's them too.
Okay.
I think they're going to be contending with Arsenal to see who's going to get 3rd and 4th. But I think fast forward, I don't know, after Christmas, a month after Christmas in February, the talk's going to be Chelsea and City neck and neck, and them two, doing the classic putting on the pressure of Tottenham.
Yeah.
Well, it looks good for Liverpool right now, though, because they don't really face any consistent top 4 or top 6 opponents until December. They have United, Arsenal, and City in the space of 5 games. That would be a massive test for Liverpool, but I think they can keep up what they're doing until then, at least.
Yeah. Liverpool plays Arsenal on November 3rd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Arsenal can even draw Liverpool, I will say that they're doing well, because Liverpool's a good team this year. Yeah. And they defend really well and they attack really well. So if they can stop the attack and they can get through that defense, good for them. But if they lose, I mean, if they draw, I will think highly of Arsenal in that game. Because City and Chelsea drew Liverpool. And not saying that Liverpool's, the best team around, but they've already played Chelsea and City and they lost both those games. So
yeah. If they had a in-form Mohamed Salah to 75% of his last year form, they'd be winning the league.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
I think the problem with that team is that it's not complete yet. They filled gaps that they needed to fill with the money that they got for Coutinho, but they never really replaced Coutinho with anybody of any of even similar quality. So when it comes
or even
down
similar
to it,
true position.
Yeah, true. So they've seemed to be one player away from a Premier League winning season. And that player was Virgil van Dijk, but to get Virgil van Dijk, they had to sell Coutinho. So then you're still a player away. I would agree with Mohamed in saying I don't think they're going to win it. But if you look at the Premier League table, they're still unbeaten and second in the league. So they could definitely keep the run going. But historically, we just know that they haven't been able to do it when it really comes down to it.
Yeah. And depending on how they do in the rest of their Champions League group, they're third right now.
Yeah, that's very true.
PSG and Napoli are ahead of them, and they beat PSG.
If they get knocked out of the Champions League and City continue and keep going through and winning and staying in the Champions League, that might be a huge shift for the Premier League.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to it. Once you get to February and those second round games kick in, it really is a case of who has enough players to rotate, who has enough legs, basically. In my opinion, if you were to look at the teams next to each other, if you looked at Chelsea's team, Liverpool's team, and City's team, overall, I think Chelsea and City are the two that have the most legs. But also, Chelsea are in the quote-unquote lesser European competition, so there's less pressure there for them as well.
The one that Oldham Athletic wins in 2021,
yeah.
You're going to call that?
Do you know, like, when the Simpsons, when they upload the videos of the Simpsons, the Simpsons predicted Trump as president? What if the Studs Up podcast predicted Oldham Athletic 2021 Europa League champions? You heard it here first. Save this recording.
Place your bets.
I will tattoo Oldham Athletics badge on my ass.
Can we make that happen anyway? I think it deserves to happen.
No,
because they're not. They're not a Chelsea rival.
They're my number one team.
Right.
What I don't even consider Chelsea on the spectrum of favorability when Oldham Athletics in the picture.
I love it. Okay, well then, good little discussion there. And then Dave continues towards the end of his email. He goes, finally, I wanted to finish by saying, and this is what you said in the week as well, Garrett, it's great to have De Bruyne back playing for Manchester City. Not just as a City fan, but as a football fan as well. You always want to see the best players on the pitch. I would agree. Yep. And he played well by all counts. Garrett, I didn't watch the game. What did he play like?
He came in like the 60th minute because we were already winning 3-0. He came. I don't know if you guys saw the pass he'd made to, I believe it was Mahrez, but De Bruyne came back to get the ball closer to midfield, and wasn't even looking at Mahrez, and turns around and hits him with a pass, through ball, sends Mahrez, one-on-one with the keeper, and it was just one of the most amazing passes I've seen, and it was De Bruyne less than 5 minutes onto the pitch.
When you were saying his name, I thought he scored, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, me too."
No. I wish he would have scored. He got an assist today.
That's all that matters.
And that's the difference of having a player like that in your team is obviously you were already 3-0 up when he came on, but even having him sat on the bench has to boost that team heavily because they know how good he is. They know what a difference he can make.
Right. You should have heard the roars when he was warming up from the fans.
Yeah.
I remember when we sold him for like 18 million. What a deal.
Yeah. I'm happy he did.
Yeah, and he's he's older, he's more mature, he's a bigger kid than he was then, like
he's massive compared to what he was with Chelsea. He was He was the size of, even in height, not even just like in physical build. He's taller.
Yeah.
A
Well,
man's went through puberty.
he looks great.
He's a stud. I love having him
Right.
back. I wore my De Bruyne jersey on Saturday just because he was coming back.
No, that's the only reason.
Yeah. Well, no, I normally wear my Sane because it's newer.
Oh, he has the nice things.
Yeah. I wish I had money
Hey,
to spend.
Muhammad, no, you remember the De Bruyne jersey? You wore it in Nashville.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I didn't wear it.
Well,
Yeah, you
let's
did.
do a little aside for was it the pre-season tour?
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
ICC.
Where me and Garrett almost beat the shit out of a Tottenham supporter.
He was being the biggest douche to us. And,
Well, at least for me, he's wearing a Tottenham jersey.
yeah.
Like, you can't be a normal person and be a Tottenham fan.
So I think there's I think there's several there's 3 pictures on Facebook of you, Mohammed, wearing 3 different teams jerseys.
Name which ones?
You are wearing, in one photo you are kissing the Real Madrid badge.
That was
In
a
the-
Chelsea badge.
In another you're
No,
wearing
it's a
okay.
white Chelsea jersey.
Well, you are wearing a
white-
Real Madrid jersey in a photo on Facebook.
No, I wasn't. I've never worn a Real Madrid
There
jersey
is
in my
also a day this summer when you and Garrett went to Nashville to watch Manchester City, and Garrett, I don't know if you coerced him or Mohammed, was jumped at the opportunity to wear your Manchester City shirt.
No,
And
he
then-
was like,
I wanna clear the
finally
fucking air.
a badge I can be proud of.
I want to clear the air here. I've never in my life wore I would never in my life wore a Real Madrid jersey. Period. The photo he's referring to is my white Chelsea jersey of when I went to go see them play Barcelona in Washington D.C. and I was kissing the badge of the blue.
It is just very
And-
fortunate that the
and-
badge happens to be obscured in the photo because he is kissing it.
And then you have Nashville, which was, I don't know, last summer, I think.
Yeah.
Garrett asked me to go to Nashville with him to see his first City game.
It wasn't
I
my
went
first.
with-
It was my second.
For his first City game, and he said, Muhammad, this would make me the happiest boy in the world.
Bullshit.
And I said, Garrett, I'll do it for you though. And he said, please, man, will you do this for me? It'll make me the happiest man in the world. Christy could never do anything like this for me. And so I wore that jersey. I did get a deep cleaning afterwards.
That's fair.
I went on a keto diet. I did everything I could do just to flush the shit out of my system.
The stank.
Yeah. Moving on.
We did
No
actually.
comment.
Okay, so piggybacking off that a little bit, I think we should let people in on our little bet, Garrett. Because your bachelor party is next year, and our plan is to go to a pre-season game, either hopefully a Manchester City pre-season game because it's your bachelor.
It'll only be a Manchester City preseason game.
Correct.
It'll be a West Brom Albion versus.
So wherever that
Versus
may be
Leeds.
in the US, hopefully it's somewhere closer to California, because I don't really want to have it in Minneapolis where I live.
No, it's going to be West.
Maybe
Hopefully.
we should have it in.
Come on, Seattle!
If it was at the Sounders Stadium, that would make sense.
Come on, Seattle.
Fight and win!
So, but the bet. Hopefully, we're gonna go see the.
Manchester
It'd
Derby.
be nice to see the Manchester Derby, but if the Manchester Derby happens to not be on this tour, or before the game that we go and see,
But this bet was contingent on us going to the Manchester Derby. And it was if we go to the game and City wins, then for the rest of the evening, Ryan has to wear a Manchester City jersey.
oh yeah, that's
Oh,
if
right.
Manchester
shit.
United wins, then I have to wear a United jersey
Yeah,
for the
that's
rest of the
correct.
evening.
Pete would be the proudest dad in
Yeah.
the world.
Oh, he'd finally be proud of Ryan.
Wow. So I think what would be a good compromise if we're not able to go to the Manchester Derby at that point in the international friendly cup or whatever it's called.
International
Who-
Champions Cup.
That's correct. Yeah. At that point in the international Champions Cup, whoever whichever team is above the other at the end of the game that we go to in the league, how it's set up, that person has to wear the jersey of the other person's team.
And considering Chelsea's probably going to do a season tour of Singapore,
Right.
I'm
not going to Singapore.
No, we'll go to Singapore.
Okay.
Is Singapore where they have chicks with dicks, or is that Thailand?
That's Thailand.
All right, I'm not going to Singapore.
Cool.
Does anybody want to go to Thailand? Or?
Been there, done that.
Oh, you've already done it. You FaceTime me in Thailand.
Yeah, I was fucking trashed getting a pedicure.
The dream. Hello, this is Ryan from the Studs Up podcast. If you're a first-time listener or you've been with us since episode 1, I wanted to thank you for the downloads. Like any good podcast, we're mostly discovered through sharing on social media and reviews, so I'm here to ask you for a favour. If you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, please navigate to your iTunes or Apple Podcast app and leave a review for the show with a little note for us to read. If you leave your nomination for our Premier League Hall of Fame in the review, we'll read it out with your name on the show. If you ever want to get in touch with the show, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at StudsUpPod, on Facebook by typing in Studs Up Podcast or facebook.com/StudsUpShow, and via email by writing to studsupsoccershow@gmail.com. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Cheers. Dave finished his email off. No, he started his email, sorry. Which we skipped the first paragraph. He started his email. The only place to start is with the Chelsea-Manchester United game. He said, United actually surprised me with how well they played in the second half and were a little unlucky to not get the win. I think a lot unlucky to not get the win. The aftermath of the last-minute equaliser was just hilarious, although for once I'm going to side with Mourinho. This is big. This is a departure for Roy. The Chelsea physio was out of order and I personally would have smashed his face in. Yes, Roy, I agree. Personally, I think Manchester United overall, over the 90 minutes, were the better team. Probably deserved to win. Defensive errors, again, caused Chelsea to equalise. And even score the first goal was defensive error as well. So you could say with a competent defender, Manchester United may not have even conceded a goal once, but here you are. It's just frustrating yet again to see Manchester United only really come out in the second half when they're really under the gun and perform. They did it against Newcastle. They did it against Chelsea. They didn't do it today against Juventus, unfortunately. But it's really annoying to see every game be like this, where Manchester United only try when they actually have to.
Yeah, I agree to an extent. United was the better team throughout the first and second half. Overall, obviously, there was a glimpse of Chelsea being better and vice versa. And in the whole entire game, there was obviously times where Chelsea was the better team. Yeah. But I think that United was overall the better team that day. But honestly, I couldn't give two craps about the game. I love that ending. That's all I give two shits about.
I think the only thing that I care...
To top it off, Mourinho said it the best. Mourinho said it the best. My boy is young. He did a stupid thing. His career shouldn't be ruined over some sideline antics. And if any Manchester United fan is still butthurt about what happened, get over it because Jose Mourinho's over it. Get over it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I was mad for 15 minutes, and then at that point I was just like, you know what? It's pathetic, but I'm not personally involved. It wasn't me that was getting like a fist triumphantly shaken in my face. I'm on the other side of the globe. I was more angry about the fact that the game ended 2-2 than anything that happened after it, because we really deserved to win, in my opinion.
You should have.
Yeah, so overall, I think, looking back on it now, it's kind of funny, to be honest.
It's hilarious. I was laughing the whole entire time.
Yeah, I think
while it was happening and after a while.
My favorite part of the entire thing is when Mourinho started to chase after him and the guy just ran directly down the tunnel. Didn't even confront him.
Mourinho. Because Mourinho, Mourinho's not going to do shit to anybody until like they're a mile away from them. So that's like the most Mourinho thing I could think of. Have the guy fuck with you when you could clearly see him. Have him fuck with you again, and when my man is already in the tunnel, then start chasing after him like a big boy. He would have taken Mourinho, bro.
It might be so. But this isn't the WWE.
Death match. Mourinho versus a Chelsea coach. Let's go. Loser dies.
Yeah. I think he said it right. The guy's apologized. I accepted his apology. It's over. He took the high ground. Yeah. He could have easily taken the low road.
I was surprised how well Mourinho took it, honestly.
Yeah, I was too.
Me too.
I thought it was going to go a very, very different way, but pleasantly surprised with how he took it. I think it was more because he was kind of happy with how the game went. He was happy with how the team played. Obviously,
the reaction to the Chelsea fans that were booing him was actually really good.
Mohammed,
I'm really glad he did that.
I think you disagree with the majority of the Chelsea fans, don't you?
Oh no! If any Chelsea fan boos Mourinho, they should. Okay, during the game, if he fucking walks out with the United fan or with the United team, you should boo him because they're a United team coming into Stamford Bridge. Boo, go! You see them boo. You see their people warming up. Boo. All that stuff is cool with me. The part where I don't think you should ever boo is when Jose Mourinho is solo walking around the pitch. You should clap. He won three titles. He won 3 titles in Stamford Bridge, and he's our greatest manager we've ever had. So he deserves a standing ovation whenever he is walking by. But if Smalling is behind him, you should be booing. Yes.
Fair enough. I think he's a large part of why Chelsea are even relevant in any soccer discussion, Premier League discussion nowadays. So to have the majority of the Stamford Bridge fans booing and shouting "fuck off" Mourinho, I think is quite short-sighted. Especially when he was sacked twice. He didn't resign. He didn't take another job. He lost the dressing room, but what are you gonna do? Some people lose the dressing room sometimes. I think
my guy has lost the dressing room in every single team he's ever coached for.
I think, well, not at Manchester United yet. I think there were signs of it, but it seems obviously with the Newcastle and then the Chelsea game, I think they're still playing for him. It's whether he can turn it around or not that's gonna really, decide that. I think I spoke to Garrett a little bit before about he's not going to get sacked in the morning. Obviously, today was the Juventus game. They lost 1-0, but I think he will be given until the 11th of November where we play Manchester City, and if that game ends in a loss, I think it's over. Because it's 1 win in 7 in all competitions right now, and that's pretty pathetic for even recent years of Manchester United. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. That's a very
Inexcusable.
Chelsea thing to do.
Yeah. They're currently 10th.
While we're still talking about the wonderful team in London, John Terry won his first game, guys.
Congratulations to John Terry.
Mm-hmm.
John Terry did win his first game against Swansea, former Premier League Swansea. That was on Saturday. I'm not sure if you have checked since you just said that, Mohammed, but they did lose to Norwich today. Former Premier League Norwich.
Yeah, I only follow Derby County just because Frank's the Lamps is there.
Yeah, and
Frank the Skank.
And and they're not doing too bad. 6th. Sorry.
I can't wait till they play Chelsea.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to see the standing ovation that Frank Lampard's going to get.
They're going to boo him too.
If they booed him, I would literally rip my jersey apart. And I'd go.
You can wear my De Bruyne again.
I'd go support like a team that not a lot of people support, like
Oldham Athletic. I don't want
I don't
a
know,
team like that.
like Real Madrid or something. Barcelona.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Some small club.
Real quick, off topic, I just need to tell you guys this. This has been in my head for like the past week. I can't get out of my head before the Premier League started, and they were talking about who should. It was an Arsenal TV bullshit, and they were like, "Who should Arsenal sign this transfer window?" And they were doing it in America. I guess they're having a U.S. tour, and the people, you could tell that they have no idea of anything that's happening and know how soccer works. They're like
Andre Yedlin, man.
they're like, who should we sign for if here in Tottenham, here in Arsenal? They said, I think Lionel Messi's a pretty good player.
That's the most American thing they could have said.
They said, I think Lionel Messi's pretty good. I lost my shit every time I think about that. I laugh.
So
Whenever I'm in a bad mood, I think of a kid saying Lionel Messi could join Arsenal. Lionel.
to go back a little bit to talk about what we were talking about before with the jingle, I have found a guy.
His name is Rajesh?
His name is actually Ryan. Based in the United States, he has more than 1,000 reviews that are all 5 stars. It's $25 for a 15-second jingle. I don't even think we need it to be that long.
He must not be Indian enough.
He is the whitest guy I've ever seen.
How many?
We need to find someone. Yeah, we need to find like.
I want to have
son of
someone
a
that
salt.
only works and talks in rupees.
I don't even know. That doesn't even make sense.
Okay.
So.
All right.
All right, folks. I'll kick off fantasy for us since
baby.
Ryan doesn't even deserve to.
I really don't.
All right, so fantasy has taken a big shakeup in the standings this week. Mohammed's still in a comfortable first place, but Garrett is in second place now after passing Ryan. Mohammed's sitting in first with 474. Garrett's in second with 428, and Ryan is in third with 423. So I'm 5 points ahead of Ryan right now.
Ryan, every single time there's a fantasy or anything we do with each other, like regarding this fantasy shit, Ryan comes in swinging his dick.
All guns blazing.
Thinking he's going to just run rampant on us. Does like all these little calculations and shit. But he's always just such ass in them.
Yeah. Like I think of the 2 years we've done this so far, Ryan is the only one yet to win. And it's not looking good so far, and your past couple weeks' performances have not been good, Ryan.
I have to apologize to everybody that backed me up. I'd like
my mom, my dad.
I was very confident going into the season with a strike force of Romelu Lukaku and Harry Kane. But if you have any knowledge of the Premier League this season, they are shit.
Quality.
Awful. I don't know whether it's World Cup fatigue, whether they need a break, whether they just know that I drafted them and they're playing terribly because of that, and they want me to trade to a team where they can excel. I don't know what it is. But I need the answers.
Glenn Murray for Harry Kane.
That I might just take it.
I mean, Glenn Murray, he's up there for the Golden Boot right now.
I'll trade you right now, Mohamed Salah for Harry Kane.
Wow, would you really do that?
Huh?
Would you actually do that trade?
Why would I ever do that?
Oh,
because Mo Salah.
Gary, do you want Mo Salah?
For Glenn Murray, yeah.
For the worst player in your field, I'll do it right now just to piss off Ryan.
I mean, Glenn.
This is awful.
I'll give you Naby Keita.
No, I want something much worse. Give me your second string goalkeeper.
This is really upsetting me.
You said my second string keeper is Jordan Pickford, and he scored 15 points this week.
Yeah, I missed out on him too.
Yeah. I have Jan Vertonghen, Keita, and Kyle Walker on my bench right now.
Yeah, Ryan's ass.
Yeah, no, Ryan's terrible.
Yeah, Lukaku has gotten 2 points a week for the last 4. 2 points. And he's played 90 minutes in every single game, apart from the first game.
He's a fucking donkey.
I did really well.
Harry Kane is so unpredictable. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember I had Harry Kane once in, and he didn't score for like 3 games, and he scored 2 games and 2 assists, and just got like 1 billion points. And then that was the week I sold him. And then I was like, shit, I shouldn't have sold him. And then I realized 3 games later he still didn't score. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I should have.
You had him one time also where he scored 4 goals in one game and he got you like 60-something points.
Well, he was my captain too. That's how I won last year.
No, I won last year. You won 2 years ago.
I know. I'm just trying to say something.
Trying to be cool.
So my goal, I'm sticking with it this week.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the team. I'm bringing Mendy in. I'm dropping Davies for Tottenham because he's just not pulling
He's
his weight.
Welsh, right?
And they're playing City.
And they're playing City.
Ryan, have you maybe thought that I don't know, your team just isn't playing for you? Have you lost control of your players?
I believe that could be the case. The problem with this draft nonsense is actually it's not nonsense. I think it's fun, but I can't just drop Lukaku now and get Aguero like I would love to do in the regular Premier League fantasy game. But
I wouldn't fucking give him to you.
Right, you wouldn't.
I'll give it to you.
The problem is, how do I offset this problem when we've already drafted? My solution is, I think we need to add Dave next year. I think we've already decided that we're going to do this, but we need to spread the wealth. The wealth needs to be spread. So, okay, well that sounds like it's a good idea, but
yeah,
because I don't want to get stuck.
Everyone has to put in 50,000 rupees to join.
I wonder what
Roofies?
Yeah.
It is worth its weight in gold, cowboy.
50,000 rupees is 682 USD. I could probably afford that.
Oh, no, buddy. Sorry, I didn't recognize you, man. How are you?
I could probably afford it if I just ate mac and cheese for two weeks.
Sounds like my wife's diet.
Chicken fingers and
hey, Alma.
mac and cheese.
Hi, she listens to the podcast. Hi. I didn't say it. Your husband did.
Hey.
Hey.
No, it's because she has her wisdom teeth taken out. All she could eat is mac and cheese and soup, you fucking asshole.
Well, make sure she uses the syringe.
Yeah.
All right, Mohammed needs to use the bathroom, and me and Garrett need to go and sit in the dark for the rest of the night. So next week we'll talk about
Tottenham City.
Huge game.
So we will talk about that game, among others, next week on episode 13 of the Studs Up podcast. But until then, we'll see you.
Stay sexy.
Love all of you.